Tornadoes touch down in Ohio. I have the latest from the First Alert Center.
The threat for strong to severe thunderstorms will return to the Arklatex tomorrow. We'll time out the most dangerous thunderstorms coming up in a few minutes.
And all new this morning, the World Health Organization says if you feel burnout from work, it may be a medical condition. We explain why.
Broadcasting live, KSLA News 12 starts now with breaking news.
Breaking overnight while you were sleeping, parts of Ohio were hit hard by a tornado. Right now, crews rush to the scene offering help. Trees snapped, power out for millions, and homes destroyed. We are tracking the latest on the severe weather at this hour for you. But let's first quickly go to our forecast here at home. Expect another warm day, but storms are possible for some this week. James Parrish has your first alert to what we can expect. James, good morning.
Good morning, Adria. Yes, tomorrow we do expect that our rain and thunderstorm chances will really start to pick up. But notice where most of that thunderstorm activity is, along and north of the I-30 corridor. So for Shreveport, Bossier points to the south tomorrow, probably going to remain dry. But it's this area up in here that we are going to be worried about the threat for severe weather. That threat has increased for some, talking about an enhanced risk of severe weather north of the I-30 corridor for tomorrow. We'll track the most dangerous thunderstorms out on Future Track coming up in just a few more minutes. For right now, rain, not a big problem. Maybe a few raindrops will be possible first thing this morning, but I'm not expecting anything widespread that's really going to slow you down. Temperature-wise, it's warm and yet muggy again. 73 in Shreveport, 72 in Texarkana, 70 in Marshall, 73 in Minden, 76 right now in Natchitoches. Probably not going to need a light jacket out the door this morning. It is going to be warm and muggy for that morning commute. Maybe a 10% chance of a sprinkle or two, but I'm going to give everyone the green light for that morning commute. For this afternoon, it's looking hot and humid once again, increasing those rain chances a little bit, but still going to give you the green light for that afternoon commute on your way home. We'll take a closer look at today's storm chances and tomorrow's storm chances on Future Track coming up in just a few minutes.
James, thank you. Back to breaking news. A large tornado leaves a trail of destruction in Ohio, a state that saw several tornado warnings. Christian Picos is in the First Alert Center following that for us this morning. Good morning, Christian.
Hey, Adria, good morning. We are seeing widespread damage across western Ohio this morning. I want to show you one of the most incredible photos that we have here into the First Alert Center this morning. Crews there are describing the situation as a war zone. You can see just widespread damage in this photo there. Homes just absolutely destroyed, ripped up from their foundations. I want to take you right to the scene with some of the video that we have here into the First Alert Center, showing crews responding to the emergency situation there. We know officials there are saying that over 5 million people are currently without power. Trees have been snapped. Power lines are down. Folks there are being asked to conserve water because power to some of the water plants there are out as well. Now, we did hear from one witness who lived through this tornado, and this is what he had to say.
We went down in the basement and got to our shelter, and no more than it got there and got situated, and boom, everything just started crashing around us and ripped off my garage, my neighbor's garage, several trees.
Now, as the sun rises this morning, we're going to get a better idea as to the true extent and magnitude of the damage in western Ohio. Adria, there are injuries reported, but thankfully no fatalities right now.
Yeah, that's definitely good to hear. Thanks so much, Christian. I'm joined by James in the Weather Center now. James, can you explain what they were seeing on radar when that hit in Dayton?
Well, here's live First Alert Doppler at 10 o'clock yesterday evening, and you see a monster of a supercell pushing right through the Dayton area and points to the north. This is Interstate 75 and Interstate 70. Now, I've actually driven through this area through Dayton on my way from Akron, Ohio to Indianapolis back to Purdue, where I went to school. So I was watching these thunderstorms very carefully yesterday because I do have family yet in Indiana as well in Ohio. So I was paying close attention to these thunderstorms, and you can see that monster of a thunderstorm right here. But let's go ahead and shift the radar product. This is what we call wind shear. This tells us the good indication of wind direction change with height in the atmosphere. And when we see signatures like this on radar, we do see the potential that there is strong wind shear in the atmosphere, and that can sometimes be an indication of strong rotation. So around 10:15, we were picking up on a good signature of rotation around the Dayton area as well as Huber Heights. So this is an indication that there was a powerful, strong tornado that was on the ground near Dayton just after 10 o'clock yesterday evening.
James, thank you. Now let's take a second look at tornado damage in Oklahoma from the weekend. The state's governor toured the storm zone on Memorial Day. While talking with reporters, President Donald Trump called the governor and promised federal support. A large EF3 tornado hit the area this weekend, killing 2 people in El Reno.
It's just unbelievable that, that a tornado can do this type of damage. It doesn't do it justice when you see it on TV, when you get down here and you see the damage to the vehicles, the 2x4s that are driven through different places. The whole roof's gone. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Anybody could survive.
The governor toured a mobile home park and a nearby motel destroyed by that tornado. The governor also says the images on TV, as he mentioned, just do not do this devastation justice. Dozens are still in the hospital at this hour. Every county in Oklahoma is under a state of emergency from storms and flooding. Now to historic flooding in Arkansas. The Arkansas River Basin is at historic levels. It just will not stop raining there as well. More rain is expected in the forecast. Near Barling, Arkansas, the Army Corps of Engineers and police, they're monitoring the floodwaters there at the natural dam. It's expected to rise another 3 feet. At one point, 2 dam operators were stuck. They had to be rescued by a helicopter. And in nearby Fort Smith, Arkansas, several additional roads have been closed to high water. You can see this area here, museum, it's surrounded by water. Officials say the Arkansas River is expected to crest much higher than previously thought. That area is in so much trouble there. The swollen rivers of the natural state are also putting pressure on levee systems. The Yale County judge here says the main concern is that water can flow over the tops of some of the levees. The Arkansas National Guard is on alert and using its manpower to help people prepare.
The city has been successful in doing over 13,000 sandbags. Some of our soldiers from the 239th and the BEB have been out assisting with that and handing them out to the public.
The Arkansas National Guard is also preparing their large trucks to help rescue people who have been stranded inside of their homes from floodwater. Christian, I spoke to my family who still lives in Fort Smith. They say they are just praying that dam does not break because we would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, Adria, keep us posted. A very serious situation indeed. Good morning. Your time is 5:06 right now. You're taking a live look at I-20 at Jewel, and many of you heading back to work this morning after a long Memorial Day weekend. The good news for you this morning, we aren't seeing any major issues that will slow you down on the roads this morning as you step out the door. We do have a traffic alert for you this morning. Louisiana DOT says they are reducing Highway 1 from Robinson Road to Yearwood Road in South Caddo Parish, starting at 7 o'clock this morning until 4 o'clock this afternoon. That's in the Caspiana area. Railroad crews are cleaning up after a train derailment back on May 7th. And you may remember a saltwater truck attempted to cross in front of a Union Pacific train that caused the locomotive and 12 to 15 rail cars to derail at the front of the train. The engineer was treated for injuries.
It is 5:07. Is work stressing you out? Well, you may have an actual medical condition. The World Health Organization now recognizes burnout in its guide as a legitimate medical diagnosis. Doctors can diagnose someone with burnout if they have 3 symptoms. The patient must be exhausted, experiencing mental distance or cynicism about work, and have problems getting the job done successfully. Doctors can only diagnose burnout when it comes to work.
Tomorrow, we could be tracking some strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll tell you where the most dangerous thunderstorms will set up coming up in your forecast.
In a few short hours, Louisiana lawmakers will convene in Baton Rouge to vote on a controversial abortion bill. And President Trump heads back home from his trip to Japan. A look at what happened during the visit when we return.
Thank you for making the KSL